Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nerds with Dice. Tonight, we are playing Riff's Ballad of Fates. Real quick, just to let everyone know, we have merch you can check out through the link in the chat, or you can head over to Twitter, find the link there as well. And we are also partnered with Grinding Coffee Co. They are a Black and LGBTQ plus owned coffee company. I'm told they have very good coffee. I don't drink a lot of coffee myself, but I've heard good things. You can go pick up the Gay Agenda and some other
and the
stuff.
Cowboy Grind.
Yeah. I think they have tea too. Am I correct with that?
I don't know.
I don't know. I know they've got
someone would have
stuff.
to go to their website and check.
Yeah,
so
they have a great
audience
hat.
should do
by
that.
finding the link. That'll get you 10% off.
There you go.
And thank
What's
you,
the website
Armor
again?
Lord, for 14 months. It is here. I'll copy the link and put it in the chat so you can find it.
Also, just letting you know, I am on the overlay twice. Sorry, kid. You're.
Yeah,
My
kidless.
twin is taking over your spot
Okay,
today.
hold on. I'll fix that in a second. Thank you.
That's
I was
all
like,
right.
wait, what?
It's your
No, what?
doppelganger.
It was my doppelganger. We found her.
Jitter doesn't have a doppelganger anyway.
And the one announcement real quick is Kingdom Hearts Dreams of Nobody will be continuing, but they are going to be moving to YouTube only so that they can fit their schedules a little easier. So keep a lookout for that, and I will hand it over to Kevin while I fix the over.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Riff's Ballad of Fates, episode 41, Mine All Mine. Riff's is a world where several hundred years ago the world exploded with magic and basically caused all the apocalypses at once, and the world is still recovering, if it ever will. Aliens, monsters, dragons, everything, kitchen sink, thrown into this world all at once. Our group of adventurers is on a grand quest to find the fates that bind them together and to prevent an interdimensional invasion from the Nightlands, a dark place of terribleness.
Sounds about right.
So, let's go around and give ourselves our quick intros, starting with Jeddah this time.
Hi, my name is Maxine Bachman, and I'm playing Jeddah, the Elemental Confusionist. I think that's just what I'm going to call her now.
Yeah, it's about right. Elemental Confusionist. Yeah,
Yep.
sounds good.
Yep.
All right. Freya.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I play Freya, who's a human spy, but she's also hate Bane. So I also play Rohan, an 8-foot tall being with a 20-foot wingspan and a flaming sword.
Okay. Starissa cannot be with us tonight, so Kid.
Hello, everybody. I'm Evan Jennings. I'm playing Krogahel Kid, half human, half dwarven blacksmith, who's just doing his best.
All right.
That's all we can ask of him.
And Greeks.
Hi, I'm Ting. I'm playing Greeks, a amphibious, a goblin-looking DB side tech.
Okay, and Peppermint.
Hi everyone, I'm Nitty Titty, and I am playing Peppermint, our nature mage / healer.
All right. So the group has gathered in the town of Carson, Colorado, and met with the sheriff, who said he was going to have a task for them. If I'm getting any of this wrong, let me know. My memory is shot today. The sheriff. You talked with the sheriff and learned a bit about vampires and talked to a. What did you do? You bought some stuff?
Yeah, we bought stuff, and then
Fire.
Kid broke a table, so we had to go make a table. And while he was away, Freya and the others had a conversation with the sheriff, and Freya talked about the Night Lords and all of that, and learned about mirrored
Gotta slept
caves. Yeah, and how she was found in a
Yeah.
cave. That was
Mhm.
great.
That
Uh-huh.
was
That-
good. That's good lore drop right there.
That's great. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
just
just a
fine.
normal thing that happens found in a cave
Yep,
full of
yep.
mirrors.
Yeah. Nothing
Little
wrong
cave
here.
dweller. Little cave baby.
Full
And
of
Jeddah woke up. At the end of the episode, Jeddah woke up and was like, "Oh, hi."
It's been in one of those caves before.
We're looking for one of those caves, aren't we?
You want to
Are
know
we
more
looking
about
for a cave of
We
mirrors?
want to know more about them. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
We all bought cowboy clothes. We all look
Yes.
like cowboys and
No,
cowgirls.
you all
Oh,
got a
cow
chance
folk.
to buy stuff. Freya is just like, okay, fine.
Busy.
Here, I'll pay the tab.
It doesn't get to be a cool cow person.
You tried to convince Peppermint to buy things, but she didn't actually.
Probably
get
didn't
anything.
buy it. Yeah.
And I got a dirt stir because it's not a duster; it's just filthy.
Right. Yes.
And I ripped off the sleeves, so it's like a vester,
Vester.
a duster, a duster.
This kid has been living out his cowboy fantasies by pretending to be a cowboy in this cool Wild West town where people die, it seems, every day. Every night someone
Every
seems to
night.
get eaten by some horrible abomination, vampire abomination. But it's still very cool.
Safest town for miles. All right.
Maybe.
So, you were you in the middle of a conversation? I forget. My brain is shot,
No.
and I meant to
The
rewatch
sheriff?
it today, but
The sheriff was just leaving, wasn't he?
Well,
I think
not
we just
quite.
finished
Yeah.
the sheriff was
conversation.
gonna go and contact someone whose name I was supposed to look up and then never did. And that so they probably won't be appearing in this episode. All right, but you were in town and you didn't have a plan on what to do next, right? You were gonna wait.
Yeah.
Do we
Because like the
want to-
sheriff.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Greeks. Go on.
Do we want the sheriff to lead us to the cave or one of the caves?
I think we were
Right.
hoping he would.
Or at least tell us like where they are or what to be careful of.
Just more info about the caves in general.
Yeah,
Um,
just anything really.
Well, the sheriff has told you that the caves seem to move somewhat. And let's see. Oh, that might be actually. Is it written down here with all the other things I should have written down? Nope. Okay. Sorry, just reading this over some notes real quick from a long time ago, and nope, of course not. That would have been sensible.
We do
Nope,
no
nope,
such
just
thing as
ahead a couple
sensibilities here.
pages. Oh, wait, nope. Wait, nope. God damn it. Every page is like, oh, here's half a note, and then a whole bunch of numbers from combat. Okay. So the sheriff didn't fully leave town yet. But actually comes back and says, I don't have a location of a cave, but I've got a probable. We haven't sent anyone to investigate yet, though there are reports of a cave where people aren't, where some people went missing. Let me pull up my map, he says, and pulls out a map.
Let me check my notes.
Let me check my notes. He pulls out a little notebook. All right, let's go a little further into the mountains. Ooh,
I didn't like that.
yeah.
I don't
says-
know how I feel about it when Kevin goes
Yeah, I'm not a
in
fan
his
of
own
that.
world.
Not a fan of that. Well, because he doesn't bat an eye when he says like giant tardigrade, like a giant underground tardigrade. He doesn't go ooh to that, and that's pretty intense.
Yep.
So God knows what the fuck this is.
Fact.
There's a place called the Horns.
Okay.
It's in the mountains. Some recent reports out of the territories are can only go if you are a member of a fancy pants hotel or something. Don't waste your time to drive all the way up and get disappointed like us. Love reviews. Love 1-star reviews. Anyway, it's called The Horns. It is a mountain range. Let me, because I'm looking at it on Google Maps now to give you like descriptions and shit.
Very sturf.
Ooh, you can really zoom in on Google Maps. Shit. Okay, this is a pretty cool thing. All right, so Google Maps is interesting. It's a bit hard to get to from what I understand. Oh, but that's something that I just spotted on the map. It's by an old military base. You're probably gonna have to go past there to get up to the Horns. There's some reports about that military base of weird activity, and we think it might be connected. Are you interested in going and looking into it?
Of course.
Yeah.
If it's on the way.
Way to what?
The cave, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what we need to go look at, is these caves.
Kid, we keep the mirrored caves move and don't have a set pattern or a set location. So we're investigating. We're going to see if perhaps this is going to be a mirrored cave. People are missing. Something's up. So this could be a possible mirrored cave.
I have a very important question about that, about the physics of that. If a cave moves to a different place, right? It's a cave in this mountain, or if it's a cave in that mountain, or if it's a cave underground. But if it pops up out of the ground, is it just like a opening? Like, is it a nothing? Because a cave is like a hole in a mountain, right? So if it's out of a mountain, is it like a rock house? What constitutes it being a cave at that point?
He just blinks at you.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. It's
well, what
nonsense.
is the answer? Do you know the answer?
Then it's not a cave.
It's just a bunch of shit out in the open.
No, it's nothing.
And then where would the mirrors be? Just all over.
That's assuming that it goes anywhere. We are assuming that it only travels through caves.
It might only stay in mountains.
Always a cave.
Is that what you mean? Oh, okay.
It is always a cave.
At least that is where I saw it last.
If you find a mirrored forest, please report it.
Will do.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
That sounds.
Yeah, I don't like the thought of that. That's.
I've seen crystalline trees, but it's not related to this.
Also beautiful.
Noisy.
Fair. Also, don't throw rocks in crystalline forests.
That's a saying.
Don't throw rocks in crystalline forests.
What'd you say, Greeks?
I was wondering if the caves can be underwater as well.
Oh shit.
Would be beautiful.
That would maintain their nature as a cave.
Probably.
It would make it harder to explore for many people.
I can't breathe underwater. Yes, Press. I can't breathe underwater.
I can.
Oh, that's true. Greeks would be really good at that.
I've never found such a place, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
I cannot breathe underwater per se, but I can breathe under the ground that is under the water.
Okay. I know there are spells and whatnot that allow you to do things like swim like a fish.
My cousin can do that.
I didn't know you have a cousin.
I have a very large family. I just never met most of them.
We'll unpack that later.
Why?
How about we just hop in our tarantula and
all right. I'm trying to figure out how long it will take you. Sorry.
Still not my favorite mode of transportation ever.
It's like a 20-minute spider walk.
I just
no. Actually, it's not as far as you'd think. The ground is mostly pretty flat. That is all farmland, or was all farmland. Oh, there's some. Oh, those used to be rivers. Now they are canyons. Let me.
Canyons
Well,
possibly could equal caves.
Flat land with like good soil that would probably attract all kinds of weird shit to live out there, like in the ground.
Yeah.
Like if it was D&D, I would imagine land sharks, the bullets. Best D&D monster, by the way.
Suddenly bears.
It's about 110 miles from here.
How fast can the spider thing go? We're gonna get there pretty quick.
Spider thing can move.
Yeah,
as long as there is no, trouble and everything is perfectly flat.
Which I'm sure it will be. We got this.
Okay.
And if not, we'll handle it.
Why did your voice get lower?
I'm being a cowboy sometimes.
Your cowboy. Was that a cowboy voice?
Just
That
let him
was my
pretend.
cowboy voice. Did you like it?
Freya just sort of pats his head. We're just
Plum
letting him-
Tucket?
Is he one of those psychokinetics you got to treat with kid gloves?
I lean over. It's the sheriff, right?
This is his first time out from the small town.
I'm sorry. My dad used to tell me about all kinds of cool cowboy stories. So
I lean over. I'm not sure child has hit puberty yet.
I'm not a child. My last name is
Give it
Kid.
to him.
It doesn't mean that I'm a child. Kidd. That is my last name.
Spelling is very.
I'm 22 years old.
And you're part dwarf?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Very small child.
Oh, because I'm pretty small. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, my dad's a human. My mom's a dwarf. Do you know Frank Kidd? He used to tell me stories about places like this. I think he lives out here.
No.
I want to eyeball this fella.
Good. Do it.
I'm gonna eyeball this fella.
I love when you do that. Like, I don't believe you. I'm good at one thing, guys. One thing.
One thing. I have only one power, and it is eyeball a fella, and it costs no magic.
And boy, do you use it well.
Does it? Is this a magical thing, or is this
No.
just like a good? I like that it's not a magical thing.
It is
This
definitely
is
not
just
magical.
you being
I think
awkwardly
that's
staring
much-
at people.
Not awkwardly. Just,
Only awkward if it's not you.
so I got a 17 out of 68. Do I know what he ate for breakfast?
Yeah, you were there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, he was. Well, he was making the table. He wasn't
Oh.
there, was he?
I was building a table, but I still
After
know
breakfast. After
After
breakfast.
Anyway,
Does he know my dad?
you don't get the impression that he's lying to you, and he definitely asked about the maturity rates of dwarves and implied
Yeah.
that they are slower than humans.
Yep.
I wasn't right. Or I wasn't wrong. Maybe not have hit puberty yet.
Okay. So he doesn't know my dad. He just thinks I'm an idiot.
Pretty much.
This seems
Okay.
like the kind of guy that will
Pretty
assume that about you until you prove otherwise.
That's fair.
Okay. Well, he's gonna be waiting for a while, so I'm not. But I don't care. I'm not worried about it.
Yep.
Well, should we get along, little doggies?
I would have put money down that he was going to say mosey.
Mosey along.
Oh, it's Mosey on. Damn it.
Yeah, let's
Rookie
go.
mistake.
Give him time. We'll be here a little while.
Sheriff, do you know of anything out there that we should like be prepared for besides vampires?
Well, that kind of territory.
Like, are there like flying vampires or demon trains?
The thing about demon trains is they're going to be where they're going to be. There's not much you can do about predicting demon trains.
Yeah.
Unless they are, run by people, in which case they probably have a more regular path. But the demon trains from the war haven't reached down in this area. They're mostly staying up towards Canada at this point.
I don't know if we're talking about the same kind of demon trains.
We're probably not, because I'm talking about trains that are demons.
That is going. The idea of that has just given me a nightmare. I will now have a nightmare about a living. Is the whole train alive?
Alive might be a rough word.
I'm not a fan of that at all. Not one bit. Mm-mm.
So you're saying that you were in the belly of a train?
Me?
Yes.
I mean, I guess, but not a demon train. It was a train that was. The demons were the engines, and then we had to fight them when they broke out.
That's what I need.
So thus being a demon train.
A demon-driven train, I guess.
Wrong one.
Same thing.
You were on one of those techno wizard trains powered by demonic spirit.
Powered by demons, yeah.
Very different.
And then they broke out, and we had to beat them back. Because I think I want to go get a squirt gun just in case we run into vampires.
That is actually a reasonable idea.
Yep. Also, we should probably get Jetta, can you do anything with water? Or is it's only air and earth, right?
Yes, my cousin can. I cannot.
Peppermint, do you have anything good against vampires?
I have plenty that's theoretically good against vampires.
Oh, good. Oh, we should be all right.
All right. So, along that way, it's kind of at the bottom border of the baronies of Testament, which is not exactly the safest of baronies.
Whose barony are we in right now?
None. We're just outside of them. This place thinks it wants to be a barony, but it really doesn't. But it doesn't know that.
All right.
If you want my political opinion. Where is the list of the baronies? Colorado. Colorado baronies, 55. Yep, let me just get a general vibe of the barony of Testament, and we'll see if that influences what happens along the way.
So we're going to be going through one of these barony territories?
Just at the bottom of it, you'll generally find some... there'd probably be at least 1 or 2 patrols of the Shoshone Nation. They tend to avoid people. And we'll test a bit. A couple of Psy Stalkers might be in the area, some Fenoti. A couple of Cactus People farmers.
Oh, cool.
But yeah. If you're lucky, you might see a Cyber Knight. If you're unlucky, you might see, I don't know. There's no specific... You're not heading down towards the wastes. Don't stop and talk to any ghosts.
Yeah, that's pretty much our policy.
Hey, we have to try that.
They rarely have something good to say.
Our unofficial saying. Don't talk to ghosts.
I've yet to try that. That is on my bucket list.
You got a bigger bucket.
Now. It is now, anyway.
No. We're not. You don't do it. It should be on your do not to do list.
I do not have a do not to do list.
You should probably make one.
You should make one.
Yeah.
Do not to do list.
Well, this doesn't need me to be here any longer.
We already have the first thing that can be on it.
Bye. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Feel
let's
free
go.
to stock up with anything.
Yeah,
Goodbye,
thank
sir.
you.
See
It
you
was
soon.
wonderful seeing you again.
It's nice seeing you, Jetta.
See you later, partner.
Oh, no.
No, no,
Only he can say that.
He loved it.
no. Okay, anyway, let's go.
Alright.
Let's go.
So
Let's
everyone
go.
turns around.
I'm gonna go buy a water gun.
You
think.
do. It is easily available from the weapons resellers.
I would like to buy a water gun that looks like a 6-shooter.
They do have one. It is quite literally the same plastic toy you would get at a Walmart.
Yes.
Or such a thing.
Fuck
Can
yes.
I get a slingshot, like a water balloon slingshot?
A little more difficult, but yes. Actually, they do have water balloons and slingshot. So yeah, they'll sell you one.
Actually, I feel like she would have a slingshot, just not water balloons for the slingshot.
That reminds me of From
Either
Dusk
way.
Till Dawn with the condoms when he's fucking flicking the condoms at the vampires. I love that movie so much.
Well, all he got is condoms.
They wouldn't pop like that though. So those are
No.
bad.
Hopefully
condoms.
not.
Those are bad condoms.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just needle poke holes so it like spins water as it's going.
That's actually a fucking great idea.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
grenade.
so it leaks
a
the
water-
entire time. Good point.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but
Anyway.
a water grenade, it becomes like a flying sprinkler. So just throw it
Yeah.
over them, and they're like, ah! That and
Oh, I can-
sponges.
As
Come
you're
on,
looking at the
sponges?
weapons, as you're
Okay.
looking at the
Some water
weapons,
grenades.
What'd you say, Greeks?
So I can make some water grenades.
Greeks
I think
could
we
potentially
should.
make some water grenades. They do actually have some. Techno Wizard water
Are
grenades.
those just water balloons?
No, water grenades cover a much wider area.
Oh, awesome.
They basically summon a cube of water.
Greeks, don't you have a little don't you have a thing that flies around?
Yeah, my ship,
Not just your ship, don't you have like a little one? Like a
A
drone?
drone?
a drone. Yeah,
Maybe we could put something on the drone that can like rain on top of a vampire.
Unless a vampire jumped up
Yeah.
and knocked it out. of the sky.
Yeah.
Anyway, there
I
is
don't know
also
how
techno wizardry with water guns. There are TW water guns.
How expensive are those?
Let me I can look that up.
I have very little money at any
Rifts.
given time.
Ours no. These would be imported, so you're gonna pay about a 10%, probably 20%.
I have
bonus.
800 credits, so
Jetta just trades everything with everybody. I don't know how much money she has, but it's not a lot either.
Anti-vampire weapons.
She's like, would you like beer? I have made it. It might not actually be beer, but it is definitely alcoholic.
All right, so if you're looking at a TW water pistol, the cost is about 5,000.
5,000?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The effective range is 200 feet. The effective range on your squirt gun is about 6.
Right. Makes sense.
kind of make one that's better than a squirt gun, but not as
You
as
could
good
probably get like
as the
50 feet
TW.
on a super soaker. Which they do have super soakers, but Kid wanted a.
I want my
pistol.
Wild West gun with a little holster and everything. A little gun belt.
Oh, it came with a plastic holster.
Yes, it's bright orange. Please God.
The tip of it is bright blue.
It's not even, it's off-brand Nerf. It's not even Nerf water.
Zerf.
Norf. Norf.
Nerf.
Yes. My Norf gun. That's fun to say.
A supper soaker.
Scraped my table.
Yeah. No damage to humans, DBs, and most other creatures.
Question
Mhm.
for this. So I'm gonna ask this in game to the guy who's selling us the guns. So this would hurt vampires, right? Because it's water.
Yep.
So if you run out of water, could you like spit on a vampire or pee on one?
If they're that close to you, I mean,
Could you put pee in this and shoot it? Not my plan, but I'm just curious now.
listen, whatever you're into.
It's not what I'm
I'm not
into
here
at
to
all. I
judge.
don't want to pee on vampires, but I just
sounds
can't
kinda
help
like you do.
It just
There might be a
sounds like-
situation where you might want.
I heard about a guy
I
that
have
tried
to.
that once and did not go well for him.
Do you not hear from him again?
I
is
heard
what
from
all
him
my
again.
friends happen.
Was his name Constantine?
Much, much higher pitched.
But he survived a vampire attack, which means peeing
Was
on
never the
vampires
same.
may be a good way to do it.
It's not a good way to do it.
What if
Kevin,
there was a filter? You can filter the pee into water.
there you.
Who
Well, I mean,
have
why are you?
Would
Would
you
doing
like to
that?
buy? Would you like to purchase a Techno Wizard water filter?
Yes.
Can it turn pee into water?
You can turn nearly any water and purify it.
Wow,
That
that's
sounds
really
very
handy.
helpful.
Sounds really
It
useful.
is
How much is it?
10,000 credits.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
You just see her. He says that, and she just turns around and starts playing with the little sharp thing.
That's too much.
All right, but if you're looking for other things, other weaponry, I do have a decent selection. Now I got very few techno wizard items, but a few, water things are more popular out here and there out east. So I do have one of these, and pulls out a round orb with like blue swirly designs on it.
What's that?
Now, this is what they call a vampire chaser. It is a steam grenade.
Oh, does steam hurt them?
This will pump out steam about a 20-foot area and last for about a minute, making them want to leave.
Because it's like
it
burning
also
them a little bit.
has it has been augmented with, let's say, high capsaicin materials. And it is
sounds
burning,
like made up that
light
word.
burning. So it will deal damage to normal people as well, sometimes used for riot control.
Do you... Oh, okay. I've heard of this, yes.
Yeah, it's about, this one here will run you about 3,000 credits, and a recharge on it only costs you about 400. Bring it back, we can get it recharged for 400.
This is the mist grenade?
Yeah. Steam grenade.
That sounds pretty useful. I'll buy one.
Do you have 3,000?
Oh, I thought you said there were 400.
To recharge.
Oh, no, I don't have 3,000. I have 800 money.
All right, you got 800. Let me see what I can do for you. He goes and pulls out a drawer. How much does that cost? Oh, I got one thing for you here. All right, so you're looking for a riot control that will affect vampires?
Yeah, anything that can
All right, so this right here, he pulls out a let's see.
I'm gonna be close to them probably, so anything that can help them.
That's a bad idea, but okay.
I mean,
this one looks like
the only thing I got.
It looks like 2 light bulbs that have been strapped together, like end to end with wire. This here is a flashbang bomb. And it's enclosed in a small glass jar with a screw lid. With a twist at one end, the fuse is set in within moments, usually 3 to 5 seconds, the glass shatters and a flash and a peal of thunder, blinding and deafening everything within 10 feet.
Uh-oh. Okay. 10 feet.
Yeah. Not a great range, but
no.
If you can set up the trap, it's good.
Blind and deafen everything, so not just vampires.
And how much is that
potentially? It will. That will cost you 600 credits. I guess special on those.
So I'll take it.
All right. If you've got sound dampening, that's very, very useful.
Kevin, I destroyed it.
What did you do?
Oh no. I don't know. Got rid of my MDC bolt cutters.
Why?
I'm not doing it on purpose. Hold on, I'm putting it back in.
Yes, you are. Tell the truth.
I don't know how these.
Go to the equipment tab.
I'm in the equipment tab, young man. But this is all just very confusing to me.
I should put a slot for credits on there.
Wait, hold on, I'm figuring it out. Nope. Undo that.
Have you ever worked on No, you're not on the equipment tab. You're on the equipment part of the main page.
Yes.
So down the bottom of an Excel sheet are called tabs.
I know, I get confused with this all the time.
No, there aren't.
All the way at the bottom.
Anyway.
Character sheet, magic, equipment. Those things at the very bottom. Those are the tabs.
I don't. Mine doesn't have that. It says equipment and bionics. A7 in purple.
All the way at the very bottom.
I just can't. I can't not. There we go. I have to back all the way out.
How web pages work.
It's awful. If I click on the actual thing, then it brings up a whole new fucking.
Are you on mobile?
I'm on my iPad.
That's why.
Okay. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, that's a little more confusing.
Mobile screws with it.
All right. Anyway, we'll handle it later.
Yeah.
The
Flashbang bomb.
Flashbang bomb.
Boom.
Can Freya ask how much an armored duster would be before?
Very cool.
You can certainly ask, and I can certainly look it up again. Yes, this is the place you will buy armored equipment.
Freya didn't get a chance to.
Yep.
Last time.
ATV, Canine Companion, laser pistols. Where's the picture of the people in armor? Cyborgs, bionics, renegade armor. There we go. The Bandito. You want the? If you're just looking for the overcoat, the overcoat has 28 and is 12,000.
Nope.
But if you're looking for just a light body armor,
Yes.
that seems to be. Let's see. Yeah, armor's a little expensive out here. You can get some light body armor with no penalties. Got about 38 on the chest for 10,000. Let's see. Yep. Added MDC. I'm going to most medium or heavy suits for 1,000 pounds MDC. Yeah, if you're looking for used armor, it will do a 5% penalty to stealth, and only cost you about 7,000.
Nope. Freya
Okay.
will just continue to hide behind Rohan. All right.
That's fair.
I'm just
that's
looking
fair.
at the different armors and the prices, and I'm like, I thought these were smaller, but I guess not.
Yeah, because she's got her jacket that's 10 MDC. There we go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it can take a shot.
What if I throw in a few brilliantly made cast iron pots and pans?
It's not going to work. All right,
Okay.
let's go.
Fair enough.
Was this steam grenade? It's a TW thing.
It is Techno Wizard, yes. All right. Even vampires hold a weapon that affects your greed. Okay. Anyway, you begin traveling out that way. The land is mostly pretty flat. There's no major ley lines in the area that you know of, which you would know because you have that ability, I believe. Let me look at the map again. There we go. Nope, that one. All right. Look at the actual map again. You move along till you see a lot of what looks to be farmland. You see a couple of what look to be armored farm compounds, one of which has massive worms. They're about the thickness of a telephone pole, and they seem to be standing up, just kind of wiggling out of the ground with the wind very slowly.
They're like those crabby, crustacean-y creatures that like finger out of the ground. They're really cool. I found them in the aquarium. Yeah, they're like...
So it's a worm farm.
Yeah, there's a worm farm there. You do see a bunch of, as you travel a bit further along, a bunch of people. They're called cactus people. They are vegetable matter, with kind of like cactusy protrusions with little spikes on the end of them. But they are known to be very peaceful and kind of pacifist. And they are harvesting what seems to be a crop of tobacco. There's a little river running through, but the river before it seems to be orange. And then when it hits their farm, it seems to be siphoned off, and then the water coming out of it appears normal colored.
Gatorade purification.
As you keep moving, you do spot on your radar a large group of people on large animals. And by large animals, I mean some the size of buses.
Is that the Sim van?
No, these are not Simban. These are actually some of the Shoshone riders.
Are those the badass like cyborg Amazonian?
No, the
women?
Shoshone are Native Americans who, this group of them is beast riders.
That's awesome.
Would
What are they
Jetta know
riding?
anybody? Any?
You don't know anyone from the Shoshone specifically. And the Shoshone tend to avoid anyone they don't know or.
I feel like many nomadic tribes she would be in contact with, if not.
They may have seen her before, but I don't think that they're not. This is a very kind of.
That's fair.
Self-contained group.
Tis fair.
Yeah. As you keep going through, you do come across the outskirts of the ruins of a decent-sized city. You're kind of following a bit of highway, and there is a massive kind of chasm just outside of a sign that says Coral Bluffs, and another sign that says Pike this way to Pikes Peak National Cemetery. And then a massive a massive hole in the ground. And right before the hole in the ground, it says, "Welcome to Colorado Springs." And the sign is, classically half buried in the ground.
So Colorado Springs is just fucking gone.
Mostly. You can see pretty much behind it there is some rubble.
Damn.
But most of it seems to just be kind of blown up and smoothed over. You see places where there are clearly craters, parts that seem to be there's one part of it that seems to have been just straight up scarred into glass with fire.
Jesus. And this happened when the world ended 300 years ago?
No, you don't know. None of you would have heard about this place. The chasm in front of you is about 200 feet wide.
But it looks like glass?
It looks like the sides and bottom of it are glass that the fire came and carved down.
I wonder if this would be a good place for a mirror cave to start. It does seem to fit the bill.
Is it reflective glass, or is it?
It is not reflective at all. It is. Okay. It is like when lightning hits sand looking glass, except more regular.
I would think it would be around here.
There is the occasional little building that seems to still be half built.
Because the caves move, right? The sheriff said that we'd run into the military base first.
This isn't the cave. This isn't.
Yeah, this is just the town outside.
Yeah.
So we're just on our way.
You actually have to swing a little south from here.
Is there anything of interest
I'm sorry.
here?
I put you a little further north. You got to swing south.
Mm.
Things of interest here are the massive hole. There we go.
I don't want to go down there.
Yeah,
that seems bad.
Going into Colorado Springs looks like a bad idea. You might want to swing south. And so you do. You come to a massive lake, which is half mile across, kind of connecting to the bottom of the glass chasm, but it doesn't drip into the glass chasm. The water at the end of it kind of stays up against a layer of glass that keeps the lake in.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There does seem to be a path that uses that glass bridge, which is about 25 feet wide, as a pathway, so you don't have to travel the lake.
How deep does that glass go? Is it completely segmenting the lake?
It goes about 50 feet down.
That's very fucking cool.
But it runs where the natural edge of the lake would be.
Okay, yeah.
There is the glass. So the glass doesn't cut into the lake that far that you can see.
But it provides a nice little path to walk across.
But as you approach, Freya, in your brain, Rohan thinks frogs.
Frogs.
What about them? I know many frog facts.
Rohan is thinking frogs.
Does Rohan eat frogs?
No.
Oh, does Rohan want to catch some frogs? That's a lot of fun.
Are
That
you
is actually
on the
very much
spider?
fun.
Are there frogs in the lake?
As you come up, you see, as you all look at the lake, you see some movement in it. Greeks, you are the kind of person that would see it first.
Big frogs? How?
Where the surface of the lake moves a little bit, and you're like, oh, something just moved under something in that lake. The lake's got some vegetation floating on it, kind of cloistered, especially close to the edge where the glass bridge is.
Great.
I think there are frogs, and I don't think they're the cute tiny ones.
So they're cute big ones?
That is also very entertaining. I would like to catch a cute
There's
big
no
frog.
not cute
No,
frog.
no.
What if we rode a
Oh,
cute
if
big
Rohan
frog?
is
No.
warning about frogs.
Yeah, Rohan doesn't usually. This is not
Should
something
Rohan
we
pop
need to
out?
take
Just
lightly. Yeah.
Like, should Rohan pop out and fly around?
Hold on, because I'm inside. So Freya's is kind of like going to like climb.
You
Oh, she
got the
doesn't-
top hatch.
Yeah, top hatch. Boom.
Yeah, so we don't
Rohan.
see it freak out.
Yeah, because it's
Be horrified.
Rohan lands out of nowhere.
yeah.
What do you want Rohan to do?
I would like Rohan to fly up and take a look at the lake.
All right. Flying up, Rohan can see the other side of the lake more easily. It appears that there are some like low mud huts kind of along the far edge of the lake that are mostly made of local materials and thus very well concealed amongst reeds and whatnot. And there doesn't seem to be much movement in the lake. Roll a d20.
Oh, nat 20.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
So Rohan can see that underneath there is at least 4 things moving in this river towards the side, towards the bridge.
And probably
They
not.
seem to be roughly 10 feet long and probably about 6 feet wide.
Okay. Definitely stopping we have stopped the tarantula. I would like Rohan to kind of hover in front of the tarantula and try to see if what's trying to come.
Nothing gets out of the water. You stop the tarantula before the glass bridge.
Right.
What is next?
I like Rohan to start actually land on the bridge.
Rohan lands on the bridge, and everybody hears a sound of a loud, kind of low croak.
Jed is gonna put her head up out and just her hair is just like in the wind, just watching.
So
use present sense.
Using present sense, you can tell there are 4 big things in that lake. Well, you don't get the exact number, but there are things kind of on the edge of that bridge. From a position that seems like it would be a good ambush position underneath some vegetation. This lake is probably deeper than you would have thought.
Could be an ambush.
Yeah.
Then when you see aura.
Right. You see aura. It's hard to see past Rohan's aura at first. It is so dark and large. Though as you keep looking through, you see kind of a green, wide, flat aura in the lake. And you see its aura before you see it, but there is a pair of eyes with just poking up that looked kind of like reeds. They were set about, 4 feet apart, and you didn't notice it until it moved slightly out of, waving with the rest of the vegetation. But it seems to be these. You don't get a sign of intelligence, like. You think these might be things that are smart enough to find places to live and build like rudimentary huts, but not. Doesn't appear that they have much of a language, like that kind of level. They might have some rudimentary weapons, but you don't think they have like laser pistols. But there are some massive frogs here.
Any magic or Sonic stuff?
Let you.
You don't
you
pick up
leave.
psionics.
Should we fight them, or should we just try to like?
They give kind of a radiant aura of like magic has infused this lake and given them, they are mutated more so than magical. That's what you get. You don't get magical, you get mutant more so than magic.
I wonder if there's a way to scare them.
Rohan's pretty scary.
I mean,
We can make some loud noise.
If he doesn't scare them, maybe because Rohan's really fast, maybe Rohan could distract them and get them away from the bridge so that we could just have enough time to cross it.
That is what I was thinking.
Peppermint?
I have an idea. I could summon something to help us at least distract them.
Summon something tasty? Like a giant fly. Do you have a giant fly friend?
I was thinking more of something large and strong and sturdy.
Mosquitoes.
Like what?
Okay, no. Let Peppermint describe what she wants to do.
I was thinking, could summon Dengoth. Do you remember the giant crab?
Yes.
Oh, the Crab King.
I don't think I was there.
No.
Dengoth always wants to eat stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is that... Let me ask you this. If you summon Dengoth here, will that, like, destroy our world? Is he, like, an evil god or something?
Well, I'd be in control of him, and then I can send him back before he's let loose on our world.
Have you been able to do this whole time?
No, this is a recent thing I picked up before we left.
Huh.
Lockhinge the last time.
I think that's a great idea.
Yes.
And you're actually going to summon
You learned
him,
this in Lockhinge?
Yeah, so
not
between him
losing.
and Rohan, probably be a big enough distraction. Rohan could the crab with the frogs. Rohan could guard the tarantula and that type of stuff. So yeah. What do you need to summon him? Do you need like a special?
I don't like this here.
Full descriptions. Which one is this?
Summoning control entity. It is a ritual.
All right, summoning control entity, page 250 of this book, which is not the book you're looking at. Different book. Oh, wait, it costs 250. It's not on page 250.
Yeah.
213 in this book. All right. 213. Well, all right. So there is the cheaper summon and control animals, which I'll say you can do as well.
Okay.
I'll give you that spell as well for free. Because summon and control entity does last for an hour. It is a ritual, so it will take like 10 minutes.
The one I'm looking at says the duration is 24 hours per level experience.
True. Are there rules on rituals? Probably, but I don't remember them. So, types of magic.
It doesn't specify what I
Rituals.
can summon. It just says something from another world.
All right. Incantations from levels 8 from level 11 to 15 perform as ritual magic will require about an hour to complete. The saving throw versus ritual magic is 16, which is huge. So this summon and control entity is a higher level spell. I'll let you do the summon and control animals in 10 minutes, or you can summon and control rodents. Well, there's a lot of variations on summon and control, huh?
Yes, there's like summon and control rain, late line storm. There's like
well, summon and control ley line storm is insane. Because summoning a ley line storm can, oh boy, that can alter some things.
That's a thing.
But yes, if you want to summon something as big and powerful as a emperor crab, that will take some time.
Yeah, I figured it would. That's why I brought it up before. Like, if I have the time to do it.
I'm entertained that Emperor Crab is a literal emperor crab. Or
Which
crab
book was that
emperor.
in? Dark Conversions, maybe. I forget what the actual name is, but yeah, it is a crab from the Nightmare Lands.
Yeah.
Infamy, Emperor
Yeah, the
Crab,
name
page
I have
142.
is Dengoth because I have the token of Dengoth, the
Yes.
necklace it gave me. So, I
Oh,
need,
that
like,
will actually make it much shorter then. I'll give you Dengoth in a half hour once.
I vote that. I think
I
that's
need
a
like
great
a half
idea.
hour to do it, and
Guys, hear me out. Throwbird.
No. I like if you're willing,
No.
Peppermint, we will do what like do you have enough PPE? Do you need any of that? Are you good?
I'm good. I've been running on a bit of a magic boost, so I'm good. I have enough.
Okay.
I'm good with waiting
Yeah.
if everyone else is.
Yep.
Well, one thing you do know about frogs is they are patient. These
Yep.
things are ambush predators. They're not going to get impatient and jump out at you.
Do we know how big they are? Like
Yes, they're big.
About 10 feet long, fully extended, about 4 feet, 5 feet wide.
Look, the good news is a giant crab is a sturdy creature.
He was bigger than that too.
He was
I
bigger
remember.
than that.
Yeah.
He
He's
was-
fucking big. Yeah.
Yep.
He was very
Okay.
nom-nom-nommy.
Yeah. He just
And they
wants to
seem
eat
to have
everything.
very, a selection of powers.
Well, hopefully he's gonna have a good time. Give him a meal. I'm glad that we made a friend in another world,
I feel
even
like
if he is an
Yeah.
evil crab god.
Not evil.
He was
Just-
he wasn't evil.
I feel like the more we summon him, the more he will like us because every time we bring him here, it's more or less to eat things.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, we did give him the demon eel thing last time we seen him.
And
Yeah,
some
that's
ghost
true.
fudge, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, ghost fudge as well. In our unlimited supply.
Yeah,
he
so,
wanted
yeah,
he wanted
go
us to
for
give
it.
him more demon eel, but we can say, hey, we found something new.
Well, do it then.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do
doing
it.
All right. So you begin the ritual. It is a massive circle drawn in the ground with various symbols. It is several bits of bone and carapace and chitin that you have, in your mystic bag of animal parts for things like this. What do you do to get Dengoth specifically? Just
I'm going to use the token token he gave me to connect and summon him. I'll probably place it in the middle of the circle or something like that.
Gotcha. All right. As the ritual happens faster than you expected, as soon as you place the token in the middle of the circle, it is kind of suddenly on a pincer, as crawling up from, it looks like out of the ground, but from the magic of the bottom of the circle is this giant claw with the token in its grasp as it puts one claw out. Then the other claw comes up, and then the massive crab of Dengoth, the Emperor Crab, lifts itself and goes, "I've been summoned by my worshippers."
Oh wow, he's big.
Yes. Long time no see.
How
We're
you
happy
doing?
to see you.
Howdy, partner.
The last time I encountered you, I fed well on the greasy eel and then the small, brittle, chalky ones that you scared and exploded.
Mm-hmm. I think we have some
many
brought
of
you
their
more
minions
food.
and people.
Yeah, Peppermint's in control of him, so Peppermint should talk to him.
Okay.
We hope to have brought you more food, and this time, a fight for your own glory.
My glory is unquestioned. A fight in a place where there is brightness above.
Yes.
This water is,
It's a big pond, though, right?
it's basically a lake.
Yeah.
This water is not tainted.
Yes.
You are right to worship me here.
Jenna just goes back down into the thing, just slowly.
I give Peppermint thumbs up.
Where are your offerings?
They're in the water below. There are some giant frogs.
All right. Dungoth goes, "Huh. We shall see how froggy they are." And begins walking on to the giant...
What does it even mean?
Begins walking onto the giant glass bridge. His little pincers poking into it slightly. His little pointy legs, which are roughly at their narrowest point the size of a person.
His little skidlers. That's the
And
scientific name for
As he
crab
gets
legs.
one of his legs on there, a giant tongue whips out and attaches to his leg, and he reaches down and just clips it off. There's a great thrashing in the water. And he goes, "Ha ha ha." And then 4 more tongues come out of the same area, attaching to him, and he goes, "Oh." And then another 4 set of tongues go lashing around one of his other legs
Oh no.
and begin to pull him in. And he goes, "Ah, yes, bring me to my natural habitat, the water."
He's so happy about this.
Puts his claws above himself and starts to create rain clouds.
Hell yes.
When then a bolt of lightning comes out of one of the rain clouds into the water.
Oh my god, he can fucking summon lightning. Dengoth rules.
Peppermint, this is the best idea.
This is fucking awesome.
Dengoth starts.
We're
into
just
this.
sitting back.
It is more of a fight than Dengoth expected. Dengoth doesn't seem to be too hurt when they start pulling and trying to tear him apart. These frogs have fangs,
Yummy.
and like
fire frog.
one of them bites onto his claw, and he takes damage from it, but it doesn't like crack his claw before he starts slamming it into the bridge repeatedly.
It's like the Hulk.
Like
That's
the
the
one
one.
thing we need him to not break. Should
the
we
one
go?
thing.
Should we go now while they're fighting, or should we wait?
I don't
Are they
think
still
we'll
on
go
the
over
bridge?
the bridge right now. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe
At
staying
this
away
point,
from the bridge is
Dengoth-
a good idea.
8 other tongues come from different angles and drag him fully off the bridge and into the water. He reaches down with massive claw into the ground and just pulls up one of these giant frog things. It is colored kind of like a muddy brown with two eyes on reed-like stalks, and then another set of eyes around the front of it, and then fangs. Its body, its arms are more like crocodile arms than frog legs, but its legs are completely frog legs. Its mouth is wider than it should be. Like the hinge of it is here. Like when it opens its mouth, it opens the entirety. And it's full of fangs. And it seems to be not magically, MDC strong. And Dengath starts just like beating one of these things against and then thrashing a little bit in the ground. He goes, "Ha! Finally, something to kill and eat. It's been a month since I've had anything this delicious." And just puts it up to his tiny crab mouth, because its mouth is so much smaller. Takes a bite out and goes, "Yes, I will be savoring this." Starts slamming it until it breaks enough of its bones, and then throws it onto the shore.
Damn.
He is down to 3 opponents.
He seems really happy, Peppermint.
He does.
He seems like he's having a really good time.
Yes.
As you watch him, once again, there is you see him cast at least 3 different spells. One of which just he basically casts befuddlement on one of the frogs. He cast lightning before, and then he uses just a massive bolt of energy on one of the other frogs, and part of that frog kind of melts away into that energy. It wasn't fire, but it seemed to melt the frog. And it takes about 3 minutes before Dengath has completely just devastated these 4-tongued, so it's 16 total tongues of frog.
He's got a lot of meat.
Yeah. And then, just not paying attention to you all, he starts pulling them out of the water and tearing them apart with his claw, pulling them into strips.
Yeah.
Frog legs.
Yeah.
Does snap off their legs.
Just giant crab god things.
Yeah,
At some point, some kind of a vulture comes by, and he snaps the vulture out of the air with pinpoint precision and eats it as well.
I know that he's
Respect
funny and we talk to him, but he's low key fucking terrifying. He's
kind of on our side.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Let's keep it that way. I like this. This is good. Let's keep feeding our giant crab friend.
You still like us, right?
You stop and talk to him because he doesn't really talk to you while he's doing any of this. He seems to be just completely ignoring you.
Peppermint,
which is fine.
How long will he stay here?
I mean, I can keep him for 5 days, but I should send him back before then, otherwise he'll stay here, and I'll no longer be in control of him.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe we let him finish his food and then we send him back.
Yeah, that's probably best.
Okay.
Best to be careful with such things.
Yeah. We don't want to
and we have to make sure we bow and oh mighty. And we are impressed. I'm sorry, I am impressed.
Of course.
That was pretty. That was pretty cool.
Very impressive.
Hey, Kevin, do we know if other of him exist in this world, or does this thing not exist in our world?
There is no known reports of an emperor crab on Earth.
Gotcha. Okay, so these were from a different book, essentially.
Potentially.
Okay.
There are emperor crabs in the Nightlands, and it is suspected that they originated elsewhere.
Okay. Cool.
But the Emperor Crabs haven't really talked about it.
So somebody else on Rifts who it might be like, an extremely well-versed adventurer would come across this thing and be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
But a well-versed adventurer in Rifts would not be like horrified to find something from another world that they've never heard before. So
yeah,
you'd probably just be inquisitive. Awesome.
It takes a bit before he starts savoring it, just taking his time.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I've never had really good frog legs. I've never had frog legs ever.
At no point are you offered anything.
No, I don't ask.
The sound of this being tearing into the frog flesh and slurping up bits of it is somewhat nightmarish. Yeah, somewhat nightmarish.
How big is this pond?
The pond is about a mile wide.
So it's pretty big.
Yeah, it's a lake.
Okay.
Cool.
Jetta just kind of goes into the car, like, or into the spider thing, and just kind of finds a very back corner and a blanket. She puts the blanket over her head and buckles in real tight and just sits there like this, just all squatted up.
Yep. It takes some time, but eventually the being known as Dengoth slows down its feasting. And one of its eyes swing over to you, and then the rest of its head swings over around to you. Why did you bring me here?
So you could feast. I can send you back now if you wish.
The sun is warm. There are new things to flavor here. Things that do not know of my glory. Tell me. Do you believe you can send me back? Should I wish to stay?
I believe I can.
Is this a contest you would like to take? It says with a voice that bellows and spittle basically rumbles, comes flying at all of you.
I'm going to send it back then, so I can return it to its own world at any time.
Yep. Yes, you can.
Oh.
It instantly disappears.
Okay. He has a lot of confidence, so I really thought he was gonna like null and void your magic.
I was really hoping
it was
not.
really like he was gonna counterspell it or something like that. Yeah.
Like, do you want to take that?
happened.
I think everybody was
magic from him, but the spell negate magic does not negate several things, including banishments. Yeah.
Well, okay. On the bright side, he fixed this for us. On the downside, we just have to, the next time we summon him, if there is a next time, we just have to be a little bit more convincing, and
maybe next time I'll summon something else.
Okay, or that.
Maybe not keep on summoning him.
Yeah, he had enough PPE to basically just
decimate us.
Oh yeah.
Well, hold on a minute.
Stop with this vote of confidence, Kevin.
You put us up against him in the Badlands.
Yeah.
And I'm glad
I
we
put a
chose not
huge
to fight
obstacle
him.
in your way.
Yeah, I'm really
Yeah.
glad we chose not to fucking fight him. Fuck.
I mean, I don't know if he would have decimated you. It would have been a fight, at least.
Would have hurt.
It would have hurt.
A lot.
So we're good to cross the bridge now?
Yeah, the bridge is a little slick with blood.
Yeah.
But that's easy enough to move away.
All right.
You did not give Dengoth any orders. This is good.
Yeah, I don't think he would take kindly to
Let's
that.
see. Negation will not work against possession, exorcism, constrained being, banishment, talisman, amulet, enchanted object, symbols, wards, circles, summoning magic, zombies, golems, restoration, resurrection, healing, or fairy food. Fortunately, that was summoning magic.
Okay, bye.
Fairy food.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's a whole table.
Oh my.
But you make your way across the bridge eventually, and you come to a place half buried in the sand. Not the sand, in the. Let me find it again. Oh, there it is.
Ugh.
A
For
place
some-
surrounded by. It's called Cheyenne Mountain, and there is a visitor center that still stands, and a small campsite called Gobbler Grove Campground, where there is the remains of a touristy building.
Is it where goblins live?
No.
No.
There's a couple of small campgrounds or small like wooden camp houses that look like they are like in Fallout 4 when you come across the wooden houses that are like only partially still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of place.
Okay.
They are mostly, half of them are gone. Half of them are filled with rubble. But inside, one of them still looks strangely perfect, but it seems to be glowing right now.
No thanks.
Seems promising to me. Let's go.
As you approach it, it seems to get more solid as you approach it. Jeddah.
It starts what?
Getting more solid as you approach it.
What do you mean solid? Like the house gets solid, or I feel more solid around
It starts coming more into existence. The
I'm
entirely
still under.
perfect one.
How long has it been
This
since
is
we left?
this. It's been like an hour.
Oh, okay, then she
of
would have
travel.
come out of her
Yeah,
little ball of.
you're getting
insecure.
close.
Okay, her head's just hanging out the top now. Just.
Yeah,
Like
as
a
you are all
dog.
getting closer, one
Yeah,
of the places
very
is
much
coming
so.
more and more into existence.
What is that?
Is this a fade town?
I don't know, but it seems to like us.
It's only one building though, isn't it?
Can any of you sense ley lines? Peppermint,
Me.
do you
Nope.
sense ley lines? No.
No. I'm kidding.
No, I don't
How
think so.
how would I know?
Okay, you're not that kind of mage.
Nope.
There is a magic power radiating from like the middle of this that's about an inch long. This thing seems to be built on an inch long ley line.
Wow.
Can I see any strings coming off of it?
Strings coming off of it seem to be flowing into time. It is strung down in time. It is connected to. If the fourth dimension is time, you see fourth dimensional strings.
Whoa, my brain hurts. Wow. I
But
don't
as
know
it
what
gets
I'm
more
looking
solid, the length on those strings gets smaller, and the density of those strings gets thicker as the group approaches, and more ambient magic is brought in this direction.
at. Should
Inside,
I go
you
knock on
see-
the door? Oh,
yeah.
are we inside?
No, inside from outside, you can see there is a it says Gobbler Grove Visitor Center.
Freya, should I go knock on the door?
No.
Okay.
There is
Should
some
I?
movement inside.
I can go under the door. I can also go through the door. Would you like me to go through the door?
No. Or if they're not coming out, then we don't need to bother. We just keep an eye out. We're.
I can peek through windows. I learn a lot when I peek through a window.
Let's. Can we just keep going?
I mean, we can.
Right.
We can. That's just real curious.
It's like a side quest.
You're always curious.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you keep, so you go on past.
Well, let's take a vote. Who thinks that we should go past the weird, spooky ghost house?
Is it a spooky ghost house? We're not supposed to talk to ghost houses. That's on my not to do list.
Well, who thinks that we should investigate the spooky Scooby-Doo house? Show of hands.
I personally like seeing the
Peppermint knows what's up. Okay, so me, Peppermint, and Jenna.
Starissa, who has somewhat fallen asleep and has been kind of like, I'm not feeling great. I'm just gonna sleep right here. And kind of falls asleep in a corner.
This is a very rocky mode of transportation. I personally don't like it either.
Oh,
and I just take the blanket and I tuck her in.
Yeah.
So.
And I put some crackers and stuff next to her.
Peppermint, do you want to go knock on the door?
Sure. I can go knock on the door.
I'll go with you.
I can knock on the door and then go down in the ground, and then you guys can tell me what it was.
Okay.
All right.
You can dig dong ditch by yourself, and we
Freya is
actually...
just going to like kick back in the spider thing. You know, Rohan's
if
already
they die,
back
they
in.
die.
And it's just like Tommy.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right. Yeah, let's go knock on the door, me and Peppermint.
What is a ding dong ditch? I've always called it ding dong dive.
That's actually a better name for you, specific like your situation. I think that makes more sense.
Normally we knock and dive, though.
You hear, "Come on in, it's open."
I looked at Peppermint. What do you think?
I didn't even knock it. I was like, normally we just call it a.
Well, someone else knocked.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna open the door.
All right, you open the door. There's a little ding as you open the.
Hello.
There's a little bell. Oh, come on in, traveler.
Hi.
Don't y'all look fancy?
Thank you. Thank you very much, partner.
I don't know what you're talking about. She looks down and she's completely filthy. Just.
We just were driving by and we saw this place kind of appear. What's this place all about?
Oh, this is the Gobbler Grove Visitor Center. We got brochures for local things, advice on camping.
Did you just bring me some grapes?
Local animals. We got, and you see there's like a stuffed badger in one corner. And there's like one of those machines where you put a penny in and then you put $4 in quarters in and then you grind that penny into worthlessness.
Ooh, I love those. I never used them. I don't know how, but they are very cool looking. I
want to pick up a brochure.
You look at the brochures. There's a number of like river rafting, wonderful trails.
I didn't know that this stuff was still.
One of them
you guys
says,
were doing
visit
this.
Cheyenne Mountain Space Force Station.
Child, we should grab a whole handful of these and bring them back to Freya.
Well, we only need one per different. You don't need to grab.
Exactly.
Well, if you grab a
and
handful,
she just starts taking one,
Stop
like
it,
one
stop
of all of them.
If you take one of each, there's like 3 or 4.
I thought she was taking handfuls of each one. Like,
no,
for
just
some
one
reason.
of like how they're in like the little containers. I'm assuming she just takes one from each.
Yeah, there's one for skydiving. There's one for local restaurants. There's
skydiving.
Yeah,
that's up my alley.
Skydiving.
Yeah.
Now, how do you guys do all of this? I mean, how do you protect this area enough to do entire river rides?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, the river's pretty dangerous. And when they
you
get all
get
the
some
way
good
down
equipment, you get some good guides. I mean, you'll be safe on a river if you're with a, valuable guide.
But what about what's one of the dangerous things? Oh man! But what about the what about all the vampires? Oh, I get it. You're in a river, so you're safe from the vampires.
I guess.
Okay. Okay, that's really cool.
What
Yeah.
if they
Wow.
jump really high? Or what if the vampire is skydiving and he skydives onto your raft?
Vampires can't skydive. Can vampires skydive? I asked the person who's clearly in charge of all skydiving.
Well, I'm not the skydiving instructor. I'm just a camp. I just work these campgrounds.
You work these campgrounds?
Yeah. You know, keep them clean, keep them safe. Make sure everybody's cleans up after themselves. Don't need any teens getting drunk. You know, that kind of
That's
thing.
half the fun of being a teenager.
She looks very
I didn't-
distraught at this.
I didn't see any campers.
Well, it's been a slow season, I imagine.
Oh, okay. So you allow
Don't get,
people
to be honest, we don't get too many visitors over this way.
Is there like a sign instead of saying like high like fire? It's just like high vampire warning.
No, it says high fire or like low fire warning today.
Okay.
I can see why. I mean, we just got here over the glass bridge. We barely got past the frogs.
I'm not familiar with that.
Oh,
I think Freya is probably about a mile down the road by now. We should probably go.
No, it's
think
still
she-
parked outside.
she didn't
It's
keep
still parked-
driving.
Oh,
No,
I
it's
thought
just
you
parked-
did.
No, she
There,
just
there is a
did.
vending machine here as well, and it seems
Ooh.
fully stocked.
Ooh, I want to go over to get myself what's in there.
Anything you can imagine in a modern snack machine from our day.
I would like to get a Reese's cup, please.
There is a set of Reese's cups down the bottom is colder. And it costs 5 credits.
Credits?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Done.
Yeah, it's a fresh Reese's pack.
I've never seen these before, but I know in my heart that this is going to be great, and I want to eat it, and it's great.
It's delicious and it's cold, so it's even better.
Wait,
That
so
it?
it actually is real?
Do you like it? Is it good?
It's the greatest thing I've ever eaten in my entire life.
Well, it's just peanut butter and chocolate. Can't go wrong.
It's
She
great.
takes Bert out and she nuzzles him and whispers, "Can I have one too?" And she just puts him on the ground so that he can go in and get it. And go
Nope.
back in.
Bert just goes on the ground.
Does he not move?
Go get it.
Ma'am, no pets in here, please.
He's not my pet. Go get it.
And
Well,
I kind
could
of
I-
kick him a little bit.
He pulls
Could
out
I
a broom.
eyeball
He's like,
this?
well, could you please get your little pup? It's a health violation, ma'am.
Could
Well,
I
he's very
eyeball this
healthy. He
fellow?
licks himself all the time.
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
I don't know what he licks himself with. I don't think he has a tongue.
And she starts like,
All right. Well,
Could I eyeball this fella?
yes.
For 38 out of 68.
Very earnest. Seems a little confused by all of you.
That's fair.
Peppermint?
I want one. Bert, I
Peppermint, do you think something's kind of off about this place?
Yes, but I've thought most places were off since we started this whole
True.
adventure. So
That's
like,
true.
I think there's good in everybody.
and she just starts walking out, being
That's-
like,
You need to totally
Okay.
not. You were supposed to get it
"For me," and she just walks out, like chastising Bert for not getting her the one.
Like, are
Well-
you okay, little bud? Just
Thanks for thanks for helping us out, and giving us these cool little papers and stuff.
Well,
Do you guys know? Is there anything up ahead on the road that we should watch out for?
I mean, there's the NORAD base. They do some tours there, but don't go being weird at them. Because military ain't about to have that.
The military?
Yeah, Space Force over there.
Do I know anything about any of
Nope.
this? Okay. Wow.
No.
Okay. Cool. Well, then I guess we'll watch out for them. Thanks. We appreciate it. Did you guys want any cast iron skillets and/or cups?
I'm good.
Okay. All right.
I don't want a cast iron cup. Wouldn't that poison you?
Does it? Oh no!
You don't drink out of iron, right?
I've made a lot of them. Well, lead you can't drink out of. I mean, you
No.
cook with iron.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can drink out of it. I'm not a
But,
scientist.
you know, an iron cup would probably degrade a lot faster. Though I guess I don't know.
If you like silver lined it.
Not my. Let me give you one, just free of charge. Thanks for being nice to us. My symbol's on the bottom, Lotus Fire Forge. That's my thing, and
cool.
you can have that.
I'll look you up.
Okay.
I'll leave you a nice Yelp review. You leave us one too.
Ooh, I've never heard of that spell. That's kind of cool. Yelp review. Peppermint, did you want anything? And I pointed to the vending machine.
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, take it easy, guys.
Bye now.
Goodbye.
Bye.
As you leave and start to get
nice.
further away, the thing starts to fade a bit more.
Wow, that's a really good defense mechanism too. They're able to just phase in and out, I guess. Well, I get in the truck.
How old is that food?
The food tastes very fresh. The expiration date on it is 3000. Or no, 2100.
What year is it now?
Well, technically, as far as you know, it is 112, 113 PA, which stands for post-apocalypse.
I didn't notice that. I don't think I would have looked at the expiration
Peppermint
date.
picks up the...
Peppermint notices it. I did not. Yeah. I get back in the spider thing.
Yeah, Jed is just inside going. Brr.
Do you still have the pamphlets?
Me?
Yeah, all of it's still there.
Yeah.
Still...
You don't like deteriorate or anything?
Nope.
She'll pull something out of her bag, like a little potion. You should probably drink that after you're done eating.
Me?
Yes, yeah.
Why?
Yeah, just to
A
be
thing.
safe.
Greeks is getting a Wi-Fi signal from that place.
Ooh. Okay.
Do you connect to it?
Yeah.
You come up against a firewall that wants you to agree to click here and agree to be monitored and by cookies and to abide by their terms of service.
Reject all.
He goes, no.
No.
Then
No,
you get nothing.
You cannot have our cookies.
Well, then you don't get onto the internet from there.
Kevin was like, I was going to give you cool lore. Whatever.
Okay, does anybody
It's fine.
else
It's
just
like-
keep scrolling and just use the little tiny piece that you see just so you can
You don't
ignore
even
the
see a
cookie?
little piece. It's just it's a
Oh,
white
it's the whole
screen
thing.
with the National Forest Service logo, and it says guest Wi-Fi,
That's so
and you have to agree to the terms of service before they'll let you onto their internet.
funny.
But if you reject it, that's fine.
I reject your internet and make it my own.
We traveled through time, kind of, guys.
I don't know what that means.
Or time traveled through you.
I don't. Kid doesn't say that. That's me. That's Evan
All right.
saying.
Up ahead.
Kid still doesn't know.
Up ahead, you come to a old. You continue traveling on, and you come up to what look to be a series of large turrets that look exploded and destroyed, but long ago. You see there is, in the side of the mountain, a giant mile-wide hole, like perfect circular hole that has been overgrown mostly with debris and plants. You see a couple of buildings, and it looks like it all goes underground. So yes.
Underground.
Yeah.
Further up and further in.
So, coming up to this base, you see a sign that says Cheyenne Mountain Space Force Station. NORAD, and written under it in spray paint is a sign that says, "We're all damned." And written under it in a, like, etched onto it is a mostly faded message that says, "If you're reading this, we're assembling in Chicago is our rallying point. Make your way there. We will fight this and survive."
They seem like pessimists and optimists at the same time. This confuses me.
I guess something happened to that cool Space Force.
Mm-hmm.
Probably got attacked by vampires.
I think this was long before vampires.
Things are clicking.
The vampires, okay.
No, because
And
they're talking
as
about
you-
going to Chicago, and that's not. Yeah, that's.
As you're here, you start to see something moving in one of the tunnels. It looks like a person on the radar. And it comes up. It's moving slowly, kind of wavering at you. It's wearing kind of a bluish uniform. And it's staring out at the group of you with dead eyes. And then you see behind it a couple more. And a couple more.
Are
and
they
a couple
see-through?
more. They are not see-through.
Then
None
they're
of
not-
them
Opposite,
are
actually.
fully there because
Do they
this tunnel, about, let's say, 500 feet away from you, is full of zombies.
Oh.
Not
Would
what
anyone
I thought.
like to take a break now? A real short one?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Sure.
all right, we're going to take a quick break.
No, what I was thinking.
I don't think we've ever seen zombies in this game yet, have we?
No.
No.
Ooh, okay, very cool.
But Evan, this is your moment to shine, Evan.
Ah, if only I had my chainsaw bike.
But you have your dice tray and
All right.
dice.
Let's take this break
Sure.
and we'll reassemble shortly.
We'll be back for
Yes.
blood.
Enjoy
I've been
the
playing a lot
blood
of
and
that.
the music.
Avengers,
and get up and
reassemble.
stretch and drink water, and we'll see you soon.
All right.
Hello, everyone. And
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Yes.
Our group has traveled through Colorado over to the ruins of NORAD, where they have encountered a tunnel that seems to be full of undead that shamble up towards the surface. You all notice the zombies, and then the ground begins to shake. Maxine, Jetta would know that is not a natural earthquake.
Whoa.
There is something deeply weird about this place. There's something deeply unsettled about this earth here. It's a small earthquake. The entire tarantula rattles for a moment, and then it settles back.
So I would be like messing with Bert, and I look up very very conscious of what's going on. The earth is unhappy.
Can we make it happy?
Do not know whether it wants us here or not, but it is very unhappy.
Is it angry about those? And I point to the hundreds of zombies.
Several of the zombies toppled over into each other.
Is this tunnel like a traffic tunnel?
It is a tunnel where you could fit like several military vehicles through.
Right. So it's going through the mountain.
It looks like it goes deeper into the mountain.
Is this where we're going? Or is this just on the side here?
The other way around, yeah.
You can go around this to get what was supposed to be your actual waypoint.
Yeah.
Because you were going to the Horns, which is
right.
a little bit north of here.
But the sheriff mentioned something that there was even something weird going on here.
Yeah.
Do we really want to let zombies roam here?
It doesn't seem like they're leaving the tunnel.
Well, that's even weirder. Why would they just stay?
You should shine a light on them, see if they move.
Okay.
Yeah, does the tarantula have some sort of big old light?
I believe the tarantula has one of its two headlights.
Yeah, there we go. One headlight.
Blick, blick.
Drive home on one headlight.
I did all.
You shine it on them and you get a good picture of long dead zombies that are moving very slowly. It seems without direction.
We get an idea of how many?
You can see at least 200.
Correction, we have 3 headlights. We have 3 out of 4 headlights.
3 out of 4 headlights. I knew you were missing one. I couldn't.
Driving home with 3 out of 4 headlights.
Doesn't work.
Not the same. Not the same.
It's like goes across the top like eyeballs.
Can we kill them with we have weapons, right?
I mean, yeah. But that's a lot of, do we have enough ammunition? Can the tarantula crush them? Will they eventually clog up the gears?
Through it? Can we just tuck in and roll the...
I've never fought zombies before, but if they all get angry at this thing, that's 200 bodies slamming against this vehicle. It could start breaking
Spiders are good at climbing. Can we just go over?
Can this thing?
Okay, so
Greeks, can this thing climb?
How tall is the tunnel?
The tunnel is tall enough that the spider can get through. It is like a
Not
glitter
what I
boy
meant.
can
Yeah,
walk
that
under
works.
there.
Oh my God! So
We're
we'd be going.
maybe we can jump over it.
You
Jump
can
over
just
the
keep
the-
going.
Yeah.
You're headed north. The tunnel is to your west.
Oh.
So we don't need to fuck with this tunnel.
No.
Okay, let me get this straight.
Mhm.
Weird ghost place. Let's go investigate. Zombie horde from an unhappy earth comes, and you're just like, F it. Let's move on.
Well,
What?
Well, if the Earth was happy there with the
in our
other
defense,
place.
I'm not playing Jack anymore. Jack would already be halfway down that tunnel screaming and shooting shotgun shells. So Kid doesn't want to fight 200. That's an army of dead people. That's terrifying. But here's what I'm thinking. The sheriff asked us to investigate the military base to find out what's going on. Is that the military base? And
Yes,
the military base.
Yes.
Not the horns.
Did he ask us to go check out the horns?
I think he mentioned the military base.
Yes, he said there was weird activity, and he was concerned if perhaps that was concerned with the missing people in the horns.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, okay. Then if there's people missing in the horns, then there's some kind of town in the horns?
I'm sorry. I was just waking up when he came around.
People were going missing in that area.
Yes.
Of the horns.
But these are super dead zombies. They've been dead for a long time, right?
So if people are going to the horns and they're missing, probably because the zombies got them. So how about we do something about the zombies and protect people? Yeah, like we're supposed to. I think that's one of the things we agreed on doing.
Okay. I just think they're tucked away in that tunnel. They're not a danger to anybody. They're going to bed.
I don't know.
What if it is nighttime?
Looks like we solved the mystery. Maybe we just tell the sheriff that there's a bunch of zombies in there. He seems like he can take people enough to handle this.
I could go under the ground and see. I
do not just collapse the tunnel.
That too.
Well, what if someone else needs to go through the tunnel?
Yeah, we don't know what's. So you said we could take the tarantula and climb on the ceiling over the zombies.
It's the tarantula is pretty big.
Okay.
How tall is it? Do you get that up?
Yeah, it's 6 feet.
6 feet tall. All right, so if
it's low to the ground,
it's 20-foot ceilings. The tarantula is not good at like being upside down.
Okay.
And it is one of those curved like military hangar ceilings.
I'm also not good at being upside down.
There is also a giant hole in the ground, which looks to be some kind of massive,
UFO
thing that came apart and things flew out of. But then everything overgrew it. There are broken turrets out front. You can get around the tunnel. If you went around, you could probably get above it. There's a couple of low buildings here, none that seem too tall.
Are there zombies in those buildings? Can we telescope? No. Okay.
You don't see any movement in those buildings.
Okay. I mean, Freya, if you want to, blow up all the zombies, I guess we can do that.
I can also go underground.
I don't know.
No, I don't want anyone to go out yet.
There's a bit of a spring that has come up of water. A spring of water that looks surprisingly clear, kind of streaming from a fountain out front of 2 rocket ships flying in different directions.
That just happened?
The water suddenly surges slightly, but then goes back to being normal.
This is weird.
I can literally swim in the earth. I will not be hurt.
Yeah, but you'll be out there alone, and I'm not ready for that.
Right.
What if they're
dirt zombies? It's going to fire burst the zombies.
I'm sorry.
Zombies can swim in the earth? I was not aware of this ability.
No, Jetta. Greeks. What was Greeks?
Yeah. Greeks was it's going to fire the railgun, the tarantula railgun.
At the horde of zombies?
At the zombies.
All right.
Sounds
Go
good.
ahead and roll damage, because you hit.
30.
Kaboom.
1 second.
You kill 3 zombies.
Find the page of zombies again.
Oh, fuck.
3% of the zombies have now been eliminated.
We'll see.
It's like the
That's possible.
what is it? The
Oh, there we go.
Squid Games. Contestant number 373 and 385 have been eliminated.
You hit a bunch of them
Keeps going.
with railgun shots, and they fall over. And about 15 of them get knocked back. 3 of them fall over and start to get back up.
Oh, fuck that. Do we even have enough ammo for this? Like, I feel like we're going to get halfway through this.
You mean to
wall.
tell me that we spent money on a big squirt gun, but we didn't get something like with fire?
Okay, hold on.
That's also my cousin.
Do you think we can seal them inside? Because I can drive them back deeper inside.
That's what I said. Just collapse the tunnel.
And
I can help
if we
with
can
that.
seal a door or something, I can. Because it doesn't look like we're killing them very easily.
They are already dead.
We don't have we don't have fire. Are you kidding me? We don't have fire.
I have fire. My hammer is fire.
No,
I could probably kill a couple zombies, but
No,
there's
no.
200 of them.
No,
I am
are you
open there.
Yeah, we don't.
We didn't buy missiles, no. We didn't buy napalm bombs because we thought we would be fighting vampires, and they're
You
they're
kill
scared of juice
vampires with
boxes.
fire as well. You know that, right?
Everybody told me not as much though, not as much as water.
That is fair. They did say that.
You
Yeah,
have
water is
to
like the thing.
separate the head from the body and burn them separately.
Or just put them in a bathtub.
No. Was I the
I'm
only
pretty
one
sure.
paying attention?
No, I'm
I
pretty
know
sure.
it.
Actually,
paid
drowning them in water does work about.
Yeah,
as
no,
well
legit.
as
This is
separating the body.
okay.
But
Yeah.
that's for vampires. These are not vampires, as far as you can tell.
Drowning zombies.
As far as you can tell.
So
No
the
one-
answer is no. We don't have any big flamethrowers or anything. Rohan has a cool sword. I have a cool hammer. Greeks has some guns. Peppermint has some magic. Jetta's probably honestly the most useful against these things because she can probably just drop the tunnel and 30 tons of rock onto them.
Also myself. I can drop myself.
Don't do
If you're
that
trying to
because
get
they'll eat your insides.
Again, cannot swim underwater. Or under earth.
Yeah, but they can catch you before you get down there. I don't know how quick their reflexes are. Maybe they can get you.
After all this time, it's just
You're having a mom moment right now. I
Yeah.
feel.
Well, don't blame us. You were in the same town we were. You could have
No one
also
thought to
bought.
pack a bathing suit.
I bought a squirt
No.
gun.
no.
forgot
This
my
is,
damn
I was
Yeah,
ready
no.
for vampires.
here's the thing. You all just started talking and doing all your stuff and
Uh-huh.
all that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then
Uh-huh.
and then it's just like
And then
pay for stuff, Freya. Fine. Yeah.
I didn't ask you to pay for anything.
Oh, how do you think we stay in hotels and eat and stuff?
That's team money.
No, that Freya takes care of, because otherwise you would have bought a super soaker with it.
Are we all still in the?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I would have done that.
Until anyone tells me anything, you're all still in
Yeah.
there.
How far away is this tunnel?
The tunnel's about 500 feet away. I've said.
And they're not getting any closer.
And what is this made out of?
The tunnel or the
No, the thing we're in.
the tarantula is made of metal,
Um.
but has hatches you can just walk out of by opening.
Okay, I can't do it. They're metal. Never mind. I want to get out and just feel the ground. While they're
Right.
arguing, I'm just like.
Yeah,
And I
you
just
pop out. You put your hand on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything that lets you like radar ping the ground or any of your magic abilities?
I have
Let me see, because you're reading it on a phone and that can't be easy.
shifting ground, not
That causes
Not really-
you to shift other people's ground.
and alter earth and stuff. Yeah, it's not really a ping thing.
All right.
But I can breathe in the earth.
I have earth lungs.
Okay. So head under. You want to use that? Let me see if I can find.
Everybody keeps yelling at me, telling me that that's not a very good idea, but nobody else has a better one. So.
Well, you are just getting the lay of the land right
Yeah.
now. Where were those cards I sent you? I forgot.
Yeah, it's just like
they're in.
Okay,
our
just
pinned-
go down.
pinned
Okay,
stuff.
pinned.
Don't go anywhere.
Cool.
Just go down. Just go
Yeah.
down.
You're
Fine.
out
That's what I
there.
was going to do.
Yeah, she's already out there.
Yes.
While Freya's still talking to the others. She,
Just,
Jetta,
it's just
give me a die 100 roll.
Oogie. I'm going to die 100 times.
Hopefully not.
That's a 0,
A lot
0,
of
and a
cats.
1.
You got a 1. This is good for you.
Like everybody's arguing, and I just
There we
kind
go.
of crawl
Let me
out
look
and
at
I
your
feel the
spells real
ground,
quick.
and I
Shift
just
ground, travel through walls, floating.
I just sink into the ground.
Earth lungs. Just the one page. Okay. You reach out. And you feel the earth around you, and this thing is not just a tunnel.
I'm just like waiting underground, like as water.
The tunnel goes down and then around to another part of the facility where it opens up into a bunch more buildings and then a massive underground complex. You can feel the age of it. If this has been here for several hundred years, parts of it are slightly buried in rubble, but the further down you get, the more terrifying it gets. This thing goes down several hundred feet. And at the bottom sub-level, something is not right, but it doesn't seem breached. I'm sorry, there's 8 levels down. Yeah.
I have
Let's
this spell
see.
for an hour, so
Yeah. There are 8 levels, and the bottom one seems kind of has a nuclear radiance. Above that, though, you get different feelings that you can't really comprehend. You feel people moving throughout. You feel wetness in some parts of it. You feel submerged. You feel shadowy things. As your mind wraps around this facility, you feel that this is an old place where a lot of people died very quickly. You feel that there is now new things on each kind of sub-level of this. Except for the bottom one, which is where the nuclear power is. The world here is unhappy, but it's not leaking. And it's not dark. It's magical. It's bad. But it's not specifically dark. You don't get the flavor of night here.
so it's like creepy but not scary.
Parts of it are probably quite scary, but it is not tinged
It's
with
like
the same
that-
thing.
yeah.
Like the tinge you occasionally feel when dealing with the hounds. It doesn't have the feel of being related to the Nightlands.
Okay.
But there is badness in there.
So it's like haunted house, but not Night of Screams. Like whole place. Gotcha.
It's a haunted house with the gate closed.
Gotcha. So things could get out, but the doors are closed and not option at this point yet.
That you know of, yes.
That I know. Okay.
You don't
So I'm
get the
going to-
feeling that evil is leaking from this place.
Okay.
there are people. You do feel a stream of people have built a tunnel out towards the surface, but there's not evil in that area.
Do I feel any sort of good here?
No.
Or like a living is causing a dead.
There are living beings here. You can feel them moving with your essential tremor sense.
Mm-hmm.
There is a bit of a civilization.
Okay.
It feels like they're working something. There's some machinery active,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the solid, constant hum that you've come to associate with being underneath a computer system.
Okay.
But there's also a big, heavy presence that has steps of a giant and a bit of a burning sickness about some of the place.
Mm-hmm. Jetta doesn't linger very long. She just wanted to get an idea of what's going on. And then
When you went down, you realized that there's an underground ley line here.
Okay.
That runs straight through the 7th sublevel of this complex.
7th, okay. So I'm going to come up, kind of pop up out of the ground. How long was I down there?
It felt intense. It felt like an hour, but it was like 5 minutes.
Okay. So I'm gonna come up kind of like I'm breathing for air, even though I don't need it. And then just I feel like she'd be kind of like sick to her stomach after feeling like that kind of thing. And so she's gonna come in and try and like sneak back in and just go kind of curl up next to Starissa. But she's trying to sneak past Evan, or she's trying to sneak past Kid and
Yeah,
Freya.
that's not going to happen.
Probably not, but she's gonna try. Because she knows
Give me
that
a
you
prowl
guys are
check.
probably still upset with each other, and like, because she left when you guys were in the middle of arguing.
Yeah, give me a prowl.
Okay.
Look at this.
D100.
Look at how much like a real revolver it looks like, Freya. It's
4.
perfect.
Okay, so on feet, the sound of small kitten feet on carpet. She does sneak in. They will notice you, but it will take a moment.
Yeah. But like I was standing next to Kid, and then I'm over by Starissa, just kind of like,
Yeah.
I just kind of take the blanket that I had and I just kind of pull it up over my head. And I'm like eating the crackers that I put there for her.
Greeks, give me a recognized weapon quality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 85.
What is your score? Might actually get me something. I'm what I need. Where is it? That'll do. Trying to find the right pages.
I don't see it on my sheet.
Oh. Well, do you have any like military skills, like intelligence or things that would recognize technologies, old technologies?
Read armor, weapons engineer.
Actually, yeah, roll me a weapons engineer.
Oh, 53 out of 69.
All right. You see by the fountain is the top half of a boom gun. And looking over a bit towards one of the buildings that is mostly collapsed, the thing that's collapsed in it is an old pre-rifts cargo, like military VTOL jet. This place was an ancient military base.
Mm-hmm.
And the salvage here is potentially beyond calculation. You see a couple of other, just looking around the ruined things, you see a couple of things that, like, might be a little bit valuable, like bits of armor, a couple of broken energy pistols. Now that you're actually starting to look around, a couple of broken energy weapons, some suits of armor that have been, sat for too long and been thrashed apart. Even knowing about this and telling the right people could be valuable.
Just have to clear out the zombies and the.
I feel like Tang's eyes just went.
Salvage.
Like even under his eyeglass, we just saw the twinkle in his eyes. Your little beady eyes.
All that tech.
And you don't know anything about what Jetta found yet, so.
Nope. She's eating crackers, hiding under a blanket.
Peppermint, you think my gun's cool, right? Don't say nothing, because that makes me think that you don't think that my gun's cool.
It's fine, but not the point here, I don't think.
Then I don't get the point.
I lost the point.
I have also
of this argument a
forgotten.
while ago. And we are very off track. We were deciding whether or not we were going to do something about this zombie problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for helping people, but is there anybody in danger right now? And if we instead just tell the sheriff, hey, stop sending people over here. I mean, I just don't see, is there anything worth going in?
Freya walks out, pops out of it, it just transforms into Rohan and wants to know what it's up to the air.
All right, you fly up to the air. You're actually about a mile from the horns. I just looked. You fly up in the air and you see buildings that have been, there for a couple hundred years smashed in. There's that one tunnel that leads to a pass, like under the mountain. You fly and you're super fast. So you fly about a mile and you see it leads kind of south away from the horns. And there's a bit of a town or like the remains of some buildings there. And it looks like it goes deeper underground there. If you fly up by the horns, you do see a bit of the mountains that look like kind of big ram's horns, kind of like kind of curling up big bits of stone and rock at the top of one of the mountains. And there, Rohan gets a bad feeling looking at the horns. At the horns, Rohan doesn't see any zombies. But Rohan gets a deep sense of unease looking at it.
And then you said there's a town?
Well, the ruins of a town, about a mile and a half south of the horns. There's clearly no one living there now that you can see. Yeah. And if you look, because Rohan's got amazing vision, right? Can see for miles, I believe.
I think.
Will Rogers' Shrine of the Sun. What is that? Anyway, I'll look that up later. You look forward, you see there is a bit of a large city, like the south bits of Colorado Springs, ruined with a couple of small encampments in it. It's impossible from this distance to see who's living there, but you see smoke from a couple of fires in the barony proper.
So going back to like the military, there's the tunnel with the zombies, and is there any way else in, or is it just through the tunnel with the zombies?
You have not. Give me another look around.
12.
Okay, that's enough to get something. You do notice that there is at least like a main road entrance. The entrance y'all found to the NORAD facility was kind of like one of the side entrances. Also, looking up just past the horns, you see a giant stone building with a cross at the top of it. It doesn't look wide, but it is very tall.
So tall building.
A tall, like 5-story castle that's only like 40 feet around. It's very strange to look at.
With a cross at the top?
No, it doesn't have a cross at the top. I am wrong. It has a little steeple at the top. Just looking at the photos of the place now.
Mm.
Yeah. It is beautiful, like perched on the edge of the mountain. It looks like it's got a view out of much of Colorado Springs, or the ruins of it at this point. But you don't know anything about what might be there. But looking at that place actually gives you some comfort. Like, there is something good there.
Are there any zombies at the main road entrance?
At the main road entrance, there are no zombies. Yeah.
Is
But
there any
there is-
obstacle?
It looks like people have like piled. There's a ton of rubble. There is a downed jet. There is a downed, like a couple of downed ships, some toppled over power armor that's been overgrown, a section of road that was just cratered. And if you fly around, you can actually see a sign that says something very specific. Sorry, I just. Oh, where was it? It says, nope. Sorry. Just a giant sign that says NEMA, Space Force, with, giant holes blown in it, one the size of like a Glitter Boys round. But it looks like that place is pretty well sealed off. You could take some time to, you could get a crew and excavate it to get to the main entrance, but you'd have to be putting in some effort. No one's going to just wander up that way. And the way the tarantula got there was pretty dangerous as well. You don't feel like anyone's just going to casually meander into that zombie tunnel without noticing the zombies.
And are the zombies approaching the tarantula at all, or?
No, even after being fired on. They're staying in the tunnel.
Almost like a guard dog?
What do you know about zombies?
Nothing.
Yeah. Does anyone want to know about zombies? Anyone who would know about such things?
Well,
I'm still queasy in the truck, so.
I mean, I do have lore demon and monsters and lore creatures of magic, so I don't
Whichever's
know.
higher.
Let me see what I have. Lore. I do have creatures of magic and lore, so I'm just gonna see if I would know anything offhand.
74 under 75.
All right, so you know about zombies that you need to basically decapitate and burn them. They are resistant to normal weapons. They tend to be magically MDC, unless they are super weak. And they are very good at fighting vampires, actually. So there are some necromancers among vampire killing forces. And that zombies, when told to go a place, will do that.
Zombies are good at killing vampires?
What are vampires going to do? Drink their blood?
I love that.
That makes
I
sense.
love that. I love that they're... Oh, that's great. That's good.
I will mind control this zombie. Oh, damn.
So what, can the zombies just like hoard them and rip them apart?
It's still difficult because
That's
they're
fucking awesome.
But for lesser vampires,
Yeah, but
it takes quite a few zombies, but there are such things as benevolent necromancers.
That's awesome.
They might be. Many people think that that's insane, and no such thing could actually exist, and you shouldn't trust them. But they are not fighting us; they're fighting vampires. So let them do that.
I've been one.
Yeah.
So
Good times. Good times. That was so fun.
yeah,
Your girlfriend was super pretty, by the way.
Rohan comes back and Freya pops back down in there and tells everyone that the zombies are just staying there and about the other entrance, about how it's barricaded and how Rohan has an awful bad feeling about the horns and the place beyond that and the abandoned town. So,
Underneath isn't so happy either.
what did you find out, Jeddah?
It's like 8 stories deep of just mean. And there's also nuclear stuff under there. We probably shouldn't do that. But it's just not a happy place.
Well, if Rohan got a feeling about the horns, but this place isn't. I mean, I think we should go towards where Rohan got the feeling. We should go towards the horns. This is dangerous, but look, we're only like 100 feet away, and they're still not even coming after us.
I mean, people have tried to get in or out of here with tunnels, but nothing's leaking.
What do you mean, people?
Oh, there's living things down there too.
Okay, I feel like that might change things a little bit. If there are
Well, they're not
people-
necessarily nice things. They're just bad.
Living things that probably know that the zombies are up here and probably are okay with it. Like evil living things.
I wouldn't go as far as saying evil, but I would say very, 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 very not so quite nice.
Okay, see that's so it looks like we might have stumbled upon an evil lair of some kind,
Again,
but it's not
very,
the
very
evil
not quite
lair.
nice.
Right, but it's not the very, very not quite nice lair that we're looking for, because we're looking for a real evil lair over there, I guess.
Yeah, it's also not shadowy and dark, like
Yeah.
evil Dark Lord people that we have been searching for in past or hiding from in past. I am still deciding which one we are trying to do.
I vote we go to the horns.
Okay, I will posit that I
Yeah.
doubt it's a coincidence that there is a potential evil layer so close to another potential evil layer, but I'm going to vote for the horns if that is where Rohan had the worst feeling.
Can't cut it off at the source, right? We might as well go there.
Because if the zombies aren't moving, they're probably a necromancer somewhere.
I vote for going down because there's lots of computers and Greek seems to like computers, so we might have more of an advantage at the computers.
Does like computers.
We can always do both, but we can take the horns first, check that out,
Yeah, we can do this on the way back.
and
We
then
could
check this
we
out.
could do a 50-50 group.
We're gonna have to go
Splitting
back
up,
anyway.
No.
We're no.
I really
gonna have
split the
to-
party when the odds are this great.
we're gonna have to go back anyway. So if we hit the horns, take care of whatever night monsters are hanging out there, then we can come up and deal with the evil wizard that lives underground, or whatever he is.
And with any luck, they have to do with each other, and we lessen the danger here.
What do you think, Freya? Greeks? What do you guys think?
I mean, I know we're not supposed to split up the party, but at the
No.
same time,
Not splitting up
No.
the party.
Greeks.
myself,
Greeks.
well,
Jetta, we need to hear from Greeks right now.
okay.
What do you think, Greeks?
I mean, I would love to stay here, but yeah, I think the horns would be is the priority.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
You put a very big waypoint on your map where this is.
Stake
Yes.
a flag. Yep.
I
Do you
also
wanna
show
leave?
Greeks my notebooks because I've been jotting down notes. It's just everything that I felt and kind of like journal style, what I felt, and kind of like, I think I went this far down and I felt this, like,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So I give that to Greeks so he can kind of
Log
have
it.
an idea.
Greeks, do you want to leave any kind of beacon behind? No is a perfectly acceptable answer because you might not want bad people to find this place.
Yeah, I mean, I'll make a mental note.
Gotcha. All right. You make your way to the horns. And the tarantula is climbing basically a 50-degree angle up the side of the mountain slowly. And as you're approaching it, the sun hits it at a specific spot. It's getting later now. And the shadow of the horns falls over the tarantula. And the tarantula shudders for a moment. And then takes another step. And then takes one more step. And one more step before it punches through the mountain and falls into a cavern. And that's where we're going to leave it.
No. So we
Yeah,
went down anyway. We went
Go down anyway.
Yeah, but you're going down into the horns. You're not
We're going down into
into
the correct
Yeah.
main
into NORAD.
into the main quest place.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I
No side
guess.
quest quite yet.
Yeah, it turns out when I mentioned NORAD, I then Googled it and was like, oh, yes, I own the books that entire adventure is in.
There you go.
And I was like, oh, this is good.
It is
Oh, there's a-
time.
there's a
Skimming it,
whole
I was like,
adventure
there's a
for
lot
that?
here.
It's like a big dungeon crawl. I mean, if you go into NORAD.
Is the zombies part of it? Okay. We'll see. We'll see.
A bit, yeah.
All right.
I
But
do
you
find it
opted
interesting.
to investigate the horns.
We actually chose to do the main quest, not the side quest.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Maybe if there's several things we can do about NORAD in the future if I want. So, thank you everybody for joining us tonight for this well-paced and plotted and tightly written adventure. as no one's distracted, including the GM,
There you go.
who forgot his pills this morning. So yes. Thank you everybody for joining us. Let's go around and tell people where they can find us and who we are and our lovely faces. Let's start with Peppermint or Nerdy Teddy.
Hi everyone, I'm Nerdy Teddy. You can find me on Twitter at Nerdy Teddy, and you can find me in the Discord as well. I am currently here Tuesday nights. Tomorrow night is going to be the finale for Tales from the Campfire. We rescheduled it. Player had a little emergency, so we moved it back. That will be tomorrow. And I don't think, other than I have some stuff that I've written, you can check out through the link in the chat. And you can head over to Twitter to find that link in my bio too. If you don't get it here. And that is everything.
All right. Thank you very much. Maxine.
Hello. My name is Maxine Bachman, also known as That Girl at That Place, everywhere and anywhere except for Instagram, where I'm Lady Skyburn, and now also That Girl's art page. I've been adding some new stuff in there here and there. I've got some more stuff coming out this week, so check that out. If you need any art commissions, please let me know. That is my source of income at the moment. So if you want character art or anything, please contact me. But yeah, other than that, keep checking out my Discords and stuff to see what's going on.
All right. Thank you so much. Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle. You can find me on Twitter at Shell_game, and that's it.
All right. Thank you so much. Evan.
Hello, everybody. I'm Evan Jennings. You can find me on Evan Jennings 64 the Twitter. Right now, I'm trying to learn how to I got to learn how OBS works and stuff before I can start my next project. But
it's not super hard.
But I am a dumb man. I am not technologically literate. Yeah, I have a hard time.
That's me too, boo.
But I'm working on it.
Yep.
So.
All right. And Ting.
Hi, I'm Ting, and find me on Twitter at TingTut, and here on Tuesdays. That's it.
All right. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. My name is Kevin. I've been the game boss for the evening. You can find me at BysoniCKevin on Twitter. And so we hope to see you coming up soon. You can find my wife's coming up for the next episode. You can find my wife's awesome and amazing knitwear designs at lattesandmamas.com. And thank you for checking us out. You can catch us on YouTube and the Discord. So do we have a raid ready?
Yes, we will be raiding So Maddie Games.
Our good friends. All right. We will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.